First of all, thank you all for being with us tonight. As I always say, these nights, while they can be a little bit repetitive, they are a nice exclamation point to our seasons. So it's a great night to recognize the outstanding accomplishments of our students, both on and off the field. So thank you for taking some time to be with us tonight. I know it's a busy time of year as the week comes to an end and as the holiday season nears. I know everybody's busy, so I do appreciate you all taking some time this week and tonight and being here in attendance. So again, we can celebrate our students. I know I always start the program by talking about this. It's an interesting layout up here. So the acoustics are a little strange. Am I heard okay in the back? Coaches, you can hear me? Okay, great. But again, it's a little bit strange of a setup, so if we can keep background chatter and noise to a minimum, it will help ensure that everybody can hear what's being said by our coaches, again, about the exploits of our outstanding student athletes. So just want to make sure all of our students are properly recognized. I'm not going to get too much into the highlights from my perspective. I will save that for the coaches. Coaches, please speak into the microphone, but not as close as I just did because it made a funny noise. But do make sure you're talking into the microphone. We want to make sure everyone's heard. I don't want to steal your thunder, so I'll stop there. I'll let the coaches talk about their student athletes. Colonial Athletic League All-Star selections are still underway. I don't know that we have that information for our fall sports yet. I know I'm in charge of football, and I'm still working on that, so I don't think our coaches are informed yet of who made Colonial Athletic League All-Stars quite yet. So typically that's information we have by tonight, but we don't at this moment. Just a few thank yous. First of all, thanks to all of our parents. We cannot do what we do with your kids without your support and your commitment. I know being a parent of an AMSA athlete isn't easy. We're from many different towns, and coming here to Four Kicks after work is often a challenge. So I do appreciate the commitment on behalf of our parents, the commitment of our parents on behalf of our student athletes. So I always ask our students to do that. Please rise and give your parents the standing ovation that they absolutely deserve. Thank you, parents. And really, truly, parents, thank you. Regarding coaches, excuse me, I'm in the midst of a cold. I do apologize if I'm a little hoarse up here. Regarding coaches, I'd like to thank our coaches for all the time that they've given over the past 3+ months for their teams and for their student athletes. I think high school coaches are inherently selfless to get into this business and to give up as much time as they do. So I want to thank all of our coaches for their commitment and the time that they put into, the time and the energy that they put into our students and your kids and into our programs. I really appreciate our coaches. Thank you very much. Our administration, Principal Naraki, Assistant Principal Sensi, and our relatively new Executive Director, Dr. Lisa Mobley, are incredibly supportive of myself and the coaches and our kids. And I know we were lucky enough to see many of them at some of our events this fall, so it's great to see. And I do want to thank our administration for all their support of our athletic department. I'm unsure if a public announcement has gone out yet. I know it's going out soon, but there is one person I'd like to thank. It's going to be the last time he's here with us tonight, but our communications director, Mike Finkel, who's always here filming these events, he's leaving us for MIT next week, so thank you, Mr. Finkel. Mr. Finkel's been a big partner of the athletic department, and I'm surely going to miss him. He does a lot. He does a lot for me in getting our information out to you guys. So thank you, Mr. Finkel, and best of luck at MIT. He only works at really smart schools. He must be a smart guy. Last but not least, I know I don't give positive feedback as much as I should. Oftentimes students hear from me when it's negative and not positive. But I do want to thank our student athletes. I am proud to be your athletic director. I'm proud to the way you guys represent me and represent our school. We're a little subsect of our AMSA community, and we go out, we're very forward-facing, we're very public. We're out in other communities, and the way that everybody in this room, parents, coaches, and kids, student athletes, represent our larger community, I couldn't be prouder. So round of applause for our student athletes. Just a couple quick announcements before we get going. Again, just want to make sure all of our students are properly recognized, so if everybody can stay for the entirety of the program, it is appreciated. I know it's a tight space. Again, if you need to step out and get some fresh air, that's more than fine. I did keep it a little bit cooler in here tonight because I know this room can get hot, so hopefully we're gonna maintain a decent temperature. I'm not sure what it's at right now, but I think we'll be okay. But yeah, we just want all the student athletes to please be recognized properly. So if we can stay for the entirety of the program, I don't expect it to take much longer than an hour. And finally, if you are a student athlete who's this is your first time here as a varsity athlete, please see me at the end of the program. You are earning your varsity letter for the first time. So again, if you're a new varsity athlete and this is your first time at one of these ceremonies, please see me after the program and we'll get you your varsity letter. I think that's it. I think I'll turn it over to the coaches. Coaches, when you come up, you're going to come to the podium and you're going to welcome your entire team up to the presentation area next to you so you can give out the certificates and we can honor our kids. I think that's it for me. I'm going to turn it over to our volleyball program and head coach Joe Bengiovanni and assistant coach Jeremy Morris. Come on up, Nixon Volleyball.
Okay, this is the volleyball team. You know, as a coach, I really couldn't ask for a better group of kids to coach every day. You know, we go to the gym after a long day of school, the kids work really hard, but they're always there, they're always bringing the energy, and they just love being around each other. They work really hard, they're athletic, they care so much about each other and the sport and competing, and they're just really model student athletes, and I really, really enjoyed coaching this team. So thank you guys for, you know, every day bringing everything you have. So I really appreciate that. You know, the culture that you guys bring. It's a very tight-knit team. As far as the season went, a couple of highlights right away. We had a nice pizza party at the beginning of the year. You know, we're very proud of raising money for the Dick Pink Foundation, breast cancer awareness. So we host a big game, and the kids really put a lot into making that a fun event and a good fundraising event. So that was a nice highlight. Senior night is always a really excellent evening. This year was tough to honor some of these seniors because they've been with us for so long and we know them so well. It was really kind of sad to see them all go, but happy to see them all grow up. And as far as our matches go, I was going to highlight one match, probably our match at Marlboro near the end of the season. It was a 5-set match. We went back and forth, and it was really an excellent performance where kind of a culmination of all the hard work that they put into the season to really put together a really good performance at the end of the season. So it's really nice when you perform your best at the end. We talked about that all year long. Like, can we keep getting better, as long as we're getting better, we play the best volleyball we can at the end of the season. And they really were able to do that. And you know, a lot of teams don't do that. A lot of teams fall off, but not these guys. So, you know, that's our synopsis season. Let's see, we have some awards. So we have 4 awards. We have Most Valuable Player, Most Improved Player, Coaches Award, and the Unsung Hero Award. So I'm going to start with the Most Valuable Player, probably because it's the most obvious award. If you watched any of our games, this is the kid who just has the biggest impact on the court. When she's on the court, like, we're going to score some points. We know that's going down. She's dominant at the net. She's an inspiration to her team. She's the kid who's there after practice, working on her serve, working on her approach, working on everything, almost every day. So our MVP is Molly. These other awards, I think, could go to a lot of different people, but this is where they wound up. So the most improved award, we could take that from a 12-month perspective. And so if we look back last year at the end of the season, where were they, and then where are they now? So for that, we have somebody who was kind of on the bubble if she was going to make the varsity team or not at the end of the season last year. This kid worked really hard in the off season. She played club volleyball, she went to camps, she showed up to tryouts, and was truly impressive at tryouts. Like, this kid is like a varsity level player now. She's ready to go. And then at the beginning of the season, she's still working, kept at it all season long, keeping at it, scrapping for playing time, making the most of every minute that she got on the court. It's frustrating, it's hard when you're not a starter, and you're getting better. But this kid has really been impressive all season long, over the last 12 months, really. So that's Dasha. The Coaches Award, we actually have a repeat winner here. So she won the award last year. So this kid just really does everything you want her to do, right? You want her to play this position, that position, whatever position. Okay, coach, wherever you need me, coach, I got it. Right? What do you need me to do? You need me to pick up the balls? You need me to keep stats? You need me to be on the court? You need me to serve? You need me to... Anything I need her to do, she's ready to go and prepared, mentally prepared, solid, like one of the most reliable kids we have in the program, for the last 2 years. So it's been an honor to, be Jenna's coach. Congratulations, Jenna. And our unsung hero. So volleyball is a sport where consistency is super important. And it's not always obvious. You watch a little bit of it, and you see some flashy players, you see some big hits, some big serves, some big plays, big defensive plays. But at the end of the day, a lot of times it's the kid who is putting the ball where they need to put the ball, serving the ball in, serving the ball to spots, making the other team move, making good passes, good digs, just consistent play throughout. So this player is somebody who I specifically tasked her with that all season long. Like, your job is to be super consistent as much as possible, and that's going to open it up for other players to be a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more risk involved. So she's not always the one that's at the top of the stat sheet, but she really is kind of the heart and soul of this team. So the unsung hero is Katina. I just wanted to also mention the two captains of the team. The other two seniors on the team were Emma Webster and Cassie Fiore. Now, Emma and Cassie have been, like most of the seniors, they've been with the program all the way through since middle school. Cassie started in 6th grade, so this is 7 years of coaching. Cassie at some level, it's her 3rd year on varsity. So when somebody comes through, it has such a big impact on the program like that. The number of kids that she has helped along the way, teammates of the same age, kids that are younger than her, kids that are older than her. Like her sophomore year, she made varsity. She was not a starter, but she got some time and she made the most of it. And when she was not on the floor, she was literally the loudest kid I've ever had. Like, her cheering, she lost her voice many times just from how much cheering she would do and how supportive she was from her teammate, and the leadership she's shown has been amazing. And then Emma, literally the same thing. She's just the most positive kid I've ever seen. She shows up every day and leads the team. The kids look up to her. At the end of the season, she's just, her heart is just on her sleeve. She's just trying so hard to play more, one more point, keep it going. And the whole team is just digging down, trying to save that ball for Emma, let Emma keep playing. So we're going to miss you guys. You guys did an excellent job as captains, so I appreciate that. You might not know this, but I just got an email about an hour ago for the All-Stars. So we do have some All-Stars. So our all-stars are Molly. Congratulations. And Maddie. Congratulations. All right, one more. Kathy. And now we have the names. So we have 2 team managers. They work really hard doing our stats, helping with some of the equipment, showing up at some practices, helping out, throwing balls in drills, and just general being a big, big help to us. So our team managers this year were Chloe Blood and Tiffany Stanley. So we appreciate it. So we have, should start with the 8th grade. Okay, yeah, there it is. Adrian Murphy, 8th grade. And our freshmen are Lily Braddix. And Maria Tanaka. Zoe Burger. Abby Edis. Those are sophomores. Will is a freshman. Will Wilson. Anna Clara Souza. Alicia Silva. Maddie Glenn. Steve Brown. Sasha Martin. Hallie Barraclough. Emma Webster. Molly Horry. Tina Gakis. Cassie Fury. And Jenny Eagles. And that's it. Pictures. Oh, okay. Now's the time if you want to take pictures. Have at it.
One, two, three.
Thank you, our girls varsity volleyball team. Next up, we'll welcome our boys varsity soccer program, head coach Bobby Bishop and assistant coach Brian Bacala.
I know. Wait, she's I almost feel like Looks less sophisticated.
All right, everybody hear me in the back? We good? Am I too close? Okay, cool. Evening, everybody. Coach Bishop, Coach Bakala. This is obviously the boys soccer team. Just wanted to take a few minutes to sort of tell you about our season and thank parents and Mr. Jones for sort of giving us the support that you guys have throughout the entirety of the season. So firstly, the season for us, we made it to the round of 16. Crashed out, unfortunately, due to just we didn't particularly play the way we wanted to during that game. But that sort of happens throughout the course of the season. We have a good games, we have a bad games. This season, however, I do believe that our team surprised a lot of people, including one, themselves, but two, the opposition teams, opposition parents, and state players or teams that we played in states. The final two teams that we ended up playing, both of their coaches came over after the game to congratulate our team on one, doing a fantastic job at beating the round of 32 team, and then the round of 16 game, the coach came over to basically say, like, we did not expect your team to be this good, particularly because in your name is the Advanced Math and Science Academy. So the fact that this team was able to sort of bind together, especially considering at the beginning of the year, we had a lot of doubters. I mean, I talked to some of the boys, even they were kind of like, we lost two of our best players that we've had in recent history in the Jobs, if any of you remember the Jobs, some of the best players we've had, and replacing them was going to be difficult. But these boys, again, stood together, and they proved pretty much everybody, including I think some of themselves, wrong. And from the coach's standpoint, we are nothing but proud of them. So on that front, we think that they had a fantastic season. Obviously, we did not get to the state finalists and or win, which is disappointing and which is always our goal, but they did a relatively good job in the sense of disproving everybody and getting as far as they did. So on that front, we want to thank them. And again, we want to thank parents and Mr. Jones for giving us the support that you guys always do, showing up to games even when it's an hour away. It's greatly appreciated, and it's never underestimated from our standpoint. So thank you very much to parents, Mr. Jones, and to the team themselves. To echo Coach Benji in the back, this group of kids is awesome. They had a fantastic sort of, I don't know if bonding experience throughout the season, but I think this season in particular, they've had, I don't want to say the most fun, but last year, again, the Jobs were very silent leaders. Nathan and Anton, our captains. This year, a little bit more outspoken. So we've had sort of fun in games during training, as well as sort of be locked in, be prepared to play. Best example of that was Halloween. A bunch of them showed up in their costumes for Halloween, and they trained in their costumes. So you can imagine a group of teenage boys running around in their outfits, shouting obscene, not obscene in a bad way, but just like they were calling for the ball, acting as their character. So Nathan's running around like Perry the Platypus shouting, I don't know how a platypus makes a noise, but you can attempt. And so Dylan is running around as an Irishman playing an Irish song as he's running back and forth to get the ball. And then my favorite, Richard Demora, dressed up as a shark. Benji mentioned that Cassie is one of the loudest people. Demora puts her to the test. Sharks are silent. So the irony is already just everywhere. But he then proceeded to run around barking like a dog instead of like a shark, which we eventually told him that's not the right sound. Perhaps we should change it. So he changed it to shark attack and just started tackling people mid-training session. But back aside. So the highs, obviously we had a lot of fun over the season, but again, when it came to actually needing to be locked in and trained, they were able to do it no problems. So this, again, group of boys did a fantastic job sort of minding themselves, having a good time, but also being able to be mentally prepared for tough games that were coming. So again, we want to thank them on the standpoint of thank you for being such a good group together and having each other's back throughout the season. But from that point, we will then move on to the awards. We are going to start with the most improved, and this actually, in the best way, was not really decided by us, the coaches. It was decided by teams that played against us, coaches that played against us, and people in the background, our assistant coaches and stuff like that. Coach Augie, if any of you know him, he works downstairs at Four Kicks, gave us input on this. This person from the beginning of the season and even from last year till now has had a tremendous growth. For those of you who know me as a coach, I am very picky, and I am very quick to point out mistakes because I demand perfection from a lot of them. I know that's very difficult to achieve, but at the beginning of the season, I was particularly harsh on this person, and he took it in stride, and he used it to grow better and better until he was basically a 100% guarantee starting position for us, and impressed us the second half of the season onward. And that award goes to Jeremy Turgeon. Our next award is the Unsung Hero. This person has been one of my personal favorites, in the nicest way of saying favorites, because I don't really have favorites, but in the sense of he listens to me, and he's one of the few people who is willing to do pretty much anything I tell him, including things like, I want you to run through a brick wall. And he's pretty much one of the first people to be like, got you, I got you. Like, I will do that. I won't even think. You told me to do it. I'm going to do it. This person had to play center here. He had to play midfield all over the place. He ended up playing striker a number of times, and then eventually solidified that position. But his aggression towards, one, wanting to win the ball, wanting to win the game, proving that he is the person that we need him to be, is unparalleled in our team. And he has continued to impress this entire season. So our Unsung Award goes to Reed Costa. Our next award is the Coaches Award, and this, I mean, if you look at our team, if you know these boys, realistically, they are all deserving of this. They are all outstanding on the field. Our opponents have said so. The referees have said so. They're always impressed by the fact that our team does not complain. They just get up because we yell at them. Like, we don't want them to do that. We want them to get up, get on with the game, just like play the sport, because that's how it should be played. So all of them realistically are deserving of this, but there is one person in particular who stood out this season because of sort of the circumstances against him. We have two junior captains, and normally that is not the case. Normally you would have a senior or two seniors or a senior and a junior, but this person had expressed a want to be a captain, and we did not give it to him for quite a bit of time, and he probably knows what I'm talking about already. But he sat there, and again, similar to Jeremy, took it in stride and basically proved throughout the whole season that he should be one. And he didn't do it by complaining to us, he didn't do it by complaining to other people, he did it by showing that he was going to be a leader, by listening to everybody, by listening to me, giving me feedback, giving the coaches feedback, and all that sort of thing. So this award goes to Richard Newbank. So finally, our MVP award, as the name suggests, our most valuable player. If you were to look at the stats of pretty much any sport, you can sort of dictate who is going to be your MVP. Do they have the most points? Do they have the most tackles? Blah, 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 blah. If you were to take all of the categories that you can make for this sport and put numbers for it, this person was top 3 for pretty much everything imaginable, outside of maybe goals, but that's because his position doesn't really require him to score unless absolutely needed. But stats aside, his willingness to the game, similar to Philippe, who unfortunately is not here, is extremely high. Always wants to do better, is always sort of facing front, never puts his head down, constantly getting back to help his team, picking his team up, stuff like that, encompassed with just his ability on the ball. And as a player, for us, made this sort of a no-brainer, which is Anton Richter. As Mr. Jones said earlier, we do not have the Cal All-Stars yet, but we do have 3 CMAS All-Stars. Liam Thornley, Nathan Thornley, and Ari Sheff were nominated. And then, last but not least, before I hand out all of the specific certificates to all of the people, I do want to give a shout out to our 2.5 managers. I say half, not because Dutry is short, but because he missed half of our season. Miguel, Emily, and Dutry, as our acting managers, did a fantastic job this season coming with us. So now this is just going to be me giving them their certificates. Parents, if you'd like to start preparing to come take pictures, you can obviously do so, but I'll hand these out quickly and then we can do that. So Duke Tree. Conrad. Garrett. Dylan. Nathan. Aria. Anton. Jesse. Joseph. Chris. Jeremy. Liam. Newmainer. Laura. Ladies and gentlemen, your boys' soccer team. If you'd like to take pictures. Parents, if you want pictures.
Yo, the over most definitely is. The over most definitely Speaking time.
Thank you, Coach Bishop. Thanks to the boys soccer team. Great season. At this point in time, I'll call to the presenting area our cross-country team and head coach Mark Vital.
Trying something new this season, so hopefully it will go smoother. I'd like to think so. And I wrote a speech, which anyone who knows me for many years, I just kind of wing it. But I always walk away, every time I wing it, probably nobody notices except me, I always forget something or somebody, so I wanted to try to put a little bit more formality to it, and hopefully I don't put you to sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed coaches and faculty, proud parents, athletes, and most importantly, our remarkable AMSA cross-country team. Today I stand before you to celebrate an extraordinary season marked by dedication, resilience, and camaraderie. Our girls program hasn't lost in 3 seasons, and our boys completed the season at 10 wins and only 2 losses. As we reflect on the journey of our cross-country teams, it's essential to recognize the hard work and perseverance that each of these young student athletes have demonstrated throughout the season. From the very first practice, it was clear that this team was driven by a shared passion for running and a commitment to one another. Together, they have pushed their limits, faced challenges head-on, and embraced every moment on the various courses they competed on. Whether it was early morning training sessions, grueling hill workouts, Clinton Dam stairs, not Clinton Dam stairs, or the thrill of race day, each runner has shown that it means to embody the spirit of teamwork and sportsmanship. This season has not only been about improving times and achieving personal best, but it's also been about building lasting friendships and supporting one another every step of the way. The encouragement found in this group is truly inspiring. Each cheer, high five, and word of motivation has fueled everyone's determination to strive for greatness. We have witnessed outstanding performances and remarkable achievements throughout the season. Caitlin Massey went undefeated in dual meet competition and won the Galoni Cup and League Championships both her junior year and senior year. She is also the fastest 5K runner in AMSA history. Gabe Casanas, as an individual, placed high enough in divisionals last Saturday to qualify for all states this Saturday. The first boy to do it in 6 years.
All right.
Our entire girls team will be joining him at all states this coming Saturday up in Devens. Each race was a testament to the countless hours of hard work and dedication that these student athletes put in. They have faced fierce competition, but have always risen to the occasion, showing their unwavering commitment to excellence. As we celebrate the accomplishments of the cross-country teams, let us also recognize the invaluable lessons learned along the way, the importance of perseverance, the strength of community, and the joy of pursuing our passions. I would also like to recognize our amazing seniors, Caitlin Massey, as I already mentioned, Grace Galvin, take a step forward, seniors. James Martinez, and Wesley Menzies. Did someone call them and remind them? Thank you to our athletic director, Peter Jones, our middle school coach, Raquel Galver, to the parents for their unwavering support and flexibility, and to the AMSA community for fostering an environment where our student athletes can thrive. Finally, to our AMSA cross-country teams, congratulations on a fantastic season. You have not only made us proud, but have also set the bar high for the future. Keep running, keep believing, and keep inspiring those around you. Here's to many, many more successful seasons ahead. Thank you. Normally, anyone who knows my history, I normally start off with the girls first, but since I'm doing stuff differently tonight, I think I'll start off with the guys. This gentleman has been our #1 runner his junior year and his senior year. No one on our team has beaten him for 2 years. I already mentioned he ran probably his best race last Saturday, where he qualified for all states. He also, we just found out yesterday, just kind of looking up at the board up there, he's also run the fastest time for any AMSA boy at district meet. The most valuable runner this year goes to Gabriel Casanas. All these awards are important. All these awards are important, and none of them is more important than the other ones, I don't think. One that I've always the first couple of years that I coached here, we didn't have this award, and then I think when Mr. Jones arrived, he kind of put it out, and that's the coach's award. And the coach's award is kind of like an MVP, kind of like a most improved, kind of like a great sportsman, kind of like just a great guy to have on the team. Someone that every time I see him, when he shows up on time, I really thank my blessings that he is in my life. The coach's award for the boys team goes to James Martinez. Our unsung hero is decided upon by the athletes themselves. This is completely, they know, to me it always made sense that if I knew about them, then they should be the sung hero, not the unsung hero. So the unsung hero should be, but the athletes know who that person is. This was a 3 different individuals were kind of going back and forth until like the last, I said, gotta get it done, and this person went ahead by a couple votes. This unsung hero is always positive. As a sophomore, he's already come up to me and says, what do I gotta do to be better? What do I gotta do to be a better, I wanna be a captain sometime. I wanted to help you out. He's just a great guy. And to give you an example that I think speaks highly of his character. We were going into states, and we had to decide who our top 7 were. We have probably 10 guys that could have ran states. And this individual, Peter, was coming back from an injury, and I was going to have Gabe Torres was going to be our 8th runner, and this individual said, no, Gabe's running better than me. Let Gabe go to states, and I'll be the 8th runner. For someone to give that up speaks highly of his character, someone who sees the team as more important than themselves, which is a rarity. The unsung hero goes to Noah Krieger. It's cool being a coach of something that always has a time on. So what I do is I look at last year's times and then compare them to this year's times, and who has had the greatest improvement from last year to this year in the major events. I do a home course, the Galoni Cup, districts, leagues, and this year's most improved runner is Colin Fowler. On the ladies' side, our MVP is not just the MVP this year. She is the best distance runner we've ever had at AMSA. No one has run faster than she has. No one has amassed the accolades that she has also. She's gone undefeated for 2 years, Galoni Cup champion 2 years, league champion 2 years, and now she'll be going to all states for 2 straight years. She's only getting better and better and better. I can't. The record she set last Saturday is probably going to get beaten this Saturday by her as well. Our most valuable runner is Caitlin Massey. Our coaches award again goes to a young lady who I've known for a very long time, since 6th grade. And when she was in 6th grade, I think the wind would have blown her away. But she is an amazing leader, and she is an amazing young woman. She has the maturity to be able to organize a group of women on a run, but she also has a sense of humor that can bring a little light to a situation that might be dark. Our Coaches Award this year goes to Grace Galvin. You already know what the unsung hero is. This individual just always positive, always has great sportsmanship, always has great spirit, always can lend a hand to a young runner. Our unsung hero this year is Kathleen Galvin. Our most improved runner from last year to this year. She improved in every race. She improved from last year to this year in every single one of them. And it's an attest to her hard work during the summer, her hard work during running camp. Our most improved runner from last year to this year, and hopefully from this year to next year, is Maya Prabhakar. Certificates. Gabriel. James Martinez. Owen Manning. Paul Wilson. Alan Fowler. Noah Ingano. Noah Krieger. Peter Castro. Gabriel Torres. And on the ladies' side, Grace Galvin. Kathleen Galvin. Rosie Martinez. Amber Georgia. Delaney Lovato. Maya Parker. Mariana Santelis. Ella Carrera. Sophia Malloy. Hatchers. You want to do them together or separate? You guys decide. Separate. Guys, step over there. Your babysitter.
Yeah, so now it's you like the independent person. That's so nice. They've grown. Yeah. I know how to spell I mean, they all just
Thank you, Coach White. Thank you, cross-country runners. Coach McDonough, can you hear me? All right, we are having a little bit of an audio issue. I apologize. So coaches, please make sure you're just speaking into the microphone as best you can. Coach McDonough, come on up. Let's welcome the varsity golf team.
well, that's because you have to be quiet on the golf course.
All right, so first off, I'd like to thank Mr. Jones for answering all of my text messages and calls at any time of the day, no matter what. I mean, there really isn't a better athletic director out there. Goes to show he has one athletic director of the year, so credit to him for being the good guy that he is. So now on to the golf team. AMSA Golf had a great season this year after half the team from last year graduated. When the season began, we only had 5 players from the team last year, with 7 new members joining us. Unfortunately, one of them fell into the boards and broke their collarbone the day of tryouts, so Evan was not able to play, sadly, but he was an honorary member on our squad this year. We had a lot of fun on the course this year, and it was great getting to know the new guys and watching them grow as players as the season went on. In back-to-back seasons, we qualified for the district tournament after going 11-9 this year. And at the district tournament, we were only 8 shots away from qualifying as a team to go to states. We finished in 4th place. We were right there, and I think that there's a lot of promise and success going on with this team. So I think we'll be right back there next year. We had 2 players named to the Colonial Athletic League All-Star team this year: senior Noah Hill and sophomore Chuck Hamel. And like I said, very proud of these guys, very proud of this group, and I can't wait to see what they get, what we can do next year. So now on to the awards. All right. For our first award, we have the Most Improved Player. It is going to a player that has really dedicated himself to the game of golf over the last calendar year. Just by watching him play the game over this past season, you can see some incredible improvements he has made. He went from scoring for our team only a couple of times last year to consistently being one of our top scorers and finished 4th in season average on our team. Our Most Improved Player award goes to, and also Best Dressed tonight, Brendan Clark. Our Unsung Hero. Our Unsung Hero award is going to a player that might not have been the best scorer for some of our matches this year, but was always one of the 3rd or 4th spot when we needed someone to step up. Without him, we were never going to be able to get to our 11-win mark and qualify for as a team for districts. He also made some great improvements to his swing this year, as he used to tend to slice the ball, but he learned how to use it this year and was very good. This goes to Anthony Trementozzi. Coaches Award. Our last award, I wrote this earlier today, so Pete Jones messed up the order. No big deal. All right, so for the Coaches Award, it is going to be going to a player who had a fantastic season on the course. He puts a ton of work on, not only during our practices and matches, but will also go home and hit another 300 golf balls, which is probably the same amount of times he asked for the bus to stop for food on the way home from matches. But joking aside, he had an incredible season that ended with him qualifying an individual for the state tournament as only a sophomore. I'm very excited to see what this player can accomplish on the golf course for AMPS for the next 2 seasons. My Coach's Award goes to Chuck Hamel. All right, for our Most Valuable Player, this award is going to a player that was the most consistent all season. He led the team not only by scoring well, but also by being a great model for our younger players and leading the team the right way. I would always drive around during matches, and no matter what kind of day this kid was having, he always had a smile on his face and a great attitude. He was an absolute pleasure to have on the golf team for 3 years that I've been his coach, and I'm going to miss having him on the team, but I wish him nothing but success going forward. Our captain, senior Noah Hill. Now for the certificates, come right back up, Noah Hill. Jeremy Reed. Matthew Hassifus. Brendan Clark. Anthony Trementozzi. Andrew Laidley. Charlie Groom. Chuck Hamel. Chase Lozano. Evan Pelland. Peyton Monero. And Logan Tripodi. All right, thank you, everybody. Picture time.
Thank you to Coach McDonough and the varsity golf team. I'm going to handle the next squad, so if I can call up any members of the varsity football team, if our Maynard football players can come on up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a robust roster of AMSA football players right now involved in the co-op at Maynard High School. They're still in season. They just finished practice not too long ago, so not many of them are able to be here right now. Our coach, Coach Paliki, is a teacher at Maynard, and they have a parent-teacher night tonight, so he's not able to be here. But he did ask me to just kind of highlight the incredible thing about our co-op at Maynard. It is a 25-minute drive each day, and practice goes until 6:30 at night on cold November nights like tonight, right up until Thanksgiving. So it's an incredible commitment on our AMSA on the part of our AMSA student athletes that commit to that football program. After a day at our rigorous school, they go to Maynard, again, 25 minutes away. They practice into the night. They come home and they have to do all that homework that we give here at AMSA. So. All student athletes have to find that time management and that ability to do both things, right? But that extra piece of going to another town a half an hour away, I think is pretty impressive for the young men that have done that. And some of the guys up here have been doing it now for 4 years. They've finished their career as AMSA Maynard football players. So Coach Paliki just asked that I really thank you guys for that, having that commitment of going to his football program every day after school. So. And I think that's it from my perspective. Having a football opportunity for our students at AMSA is really important for our school. We get that kind of Friday night light experience for our school, so we have a lot of students that attend those games on Friday nights. So it's been great for our school, for both schools, and the program's been really good. This year the team went 4-4. But don't scoff at that record. They had an incredibly difficult schedule. 4 of the teams that they played, and 3 of them, 4 of the teams that they played, and 3 of them that they lost to are still playing now. They're in the state quarterfinals in their respective divisions. So they play an incredibly tough schedule. It doesn't get any easier. They're playing Division III Neshoba tomorrow night, Neshoba Regional, and then they play the defending Division VIII state champions on Thanksgiving in West Boylston. So. The 4-5 record, having lost in the playoffs last week, may not jump out of the paper at you as an impressive record, but they really are a very good football team. They've had an incredibly difficult schedule, and again, Coach Paliki just wanted me to relay to you how proud he is of his team this year, especially these AMSA guys. So let's meet a couple of the guys. Nico Chaplin. And the rest of these guys are seniors, again, who have committed to this program for a number of years, all 4 years, I think, for all 4 of you guys. So thank you very much for committing to that. So Braden Sullivan. CJ Scarona. Harry McCarthy. And Kyle Eagles. So if you get the chance, come out to Neshoba tomorrow night and see the guys play their final regular season game, and certainly we hope to see you at Maynard High School at 10 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning as they take on West Boylston in the final game of the season. So congratulations, boys. Thanks for a great season. All right, at this point in time, we'll welcome our girls varsity soccer team. Coach Stefan Hunzikiewicz and assistant coach Rich Manning. Come on
Okay, good evening. I'm Stefan Hunzikiewicz, the varsity girls soccer coach. My name is Rich Manning. He's the assistant for this year. Missing is Coach Sarah Bakula for one season. Hopefully she'll be back next year with me. This season was a particular interesting season with Sarah not being here, as well as us graduating 4 backs, our CDM, and a striker. We added 2 8th graders, a 7th grader, as well as several freshmen and sophomores. So as expected, we had some growing pains. However, by the last month of the season, we started to take ownership of our own team. The girls started to take ownership of their own team. That culminated in a win in our playoff play-in game, as well as holding number 3 Linfield to a 1-1 tie deep into the second half, and we left everything on the field. Linfield is still playing. They're in the quarterfinals. All of that was without 2 key starters into our playoffs. So the girls really rallied around each other and played our best games of the season in the last 2 games of the season. The effort, the attitude, and the family atmosphere grew tremendously. Most players finding their voice and roles. The future is very bright with this group, and with the assistance from the seniors, junior, and captains. It was a huge help in making sure that we all came together with a relatively young team. Some highlights: we integrated 2 8th grade starting center backs this year. Brand new 2 center backs that are 8th graders. If you know anything about soccer, that was pretty daunting. We also added a freshman starting linebacker, left back, and CDM. We beat BVT on their homecoming and senior day in a wild game on a Saturday morning. Very entertaining to watch. Tied number 5 Maynard on their field on their senior night. Another entertaining game to watch. Tied Marlboro for the first time since I've been coaching here. They used to kill us. We at least tied them this year, beat them next year. Got every one of our seniors a goal, which is one of the things we try to do this year, including our goalkeeper. And I know that we have integrated 7th graders before, but since I've been here, we have not integrated a 7th grader into the varsity program. And this year we took a 7th grader, and she got minutes and 5 goals, 3 assists. When I say the future's looking bright, it really is. It's a great group of girls. So, awards. So we'll start with most improved. Sometimes you look at who was most improved during the season. Sometimes you look at who was most improved season over season. This one was wicked easy because the girl did both. This player had top to bottom improvements in season with the help of Coach Rich and dedicated focus. was the biggest improvement season over season, made highlight saves in almost every single game to the point where people came up to us and talked to us and said, wow, your goalie was great, she kept you in it all over the place. An active voice on the field, and I want to call this out. 15 months ago, this girl did not play soccer, right? So she had to learn the sports, learn the lines, learn the rules, learn the lingo, learn how to kick a ball. Sophia Hamill, most improved. And we move on to Unsung Hero. Unsung Hero is somebody that I've known for a long time. She played as a starter this season, totally out of position. Was probably one of our best in that position. Provided us a tactical advantage to use as a team by being able to attack out of the back as an outside back, which really proved to be dangerous and tough to stop for a bunch of teams. She contributed on the score sheet in 3 different positions, 4 if you include both left wing and right wing, but as center mid and also as an outside back. Practices full speed constantly, practices on her own, always going full tilt. As well as is a very big community girl, helps coordinate team activities, the social aspects. Our unsung hero, Maddie Gould. Coaches Award. We use Coaches Award to try to pick the person who embodies our pillars. So on the girls team, Coach Sarah and I came up with stuff a couple years ago. Our pillars are effort, professionalism, and family. This person embodies all 3 of those. She understands the sport and the AMSA implementation on a full tactical level. So not only the sport and how it can be played, because soccer can be played 1,000 different ways, but also how we are trying to build it and how we're trying to implement it here. She helps me coach on-field tactics all the time on the field. Constantly made brave runs, brave tackles, and brave dribbles. Those are things where they may not come off. You may look like an idiot making a run and it doesn't come off. You may get stopped if you try to make a dribble. But we need those things to happen in order to move pieces around on the field. She was constantly making brave runs. Humble enough to carry the equipment almost every single practice and game. Honest enough to tell us when she's been injured or she can't go and that maybe another girl needs to get on the field to help us win as a team or to do better as a team. And she did all the captain things, even when those things were not popular or not necessarily easy to do. Our Coaches Award goes to Ava Collins. And finally, our MVP. This season we had a rough go with injury where Angie went down in the 6th or 7th game. She's one of our star players and has really helped grow our team. It was hard. It was a hard hit for the team. They were all hoping that this was the year that Angie was going to jump in and we were going to move forward. So we had to figure out who was going to become that on-field presence, that leader. Don't get me wrong. A lot of girls stepped up and tried to fill the role. But the moment that Angie went down, this girl went full tilt on the field to the point where we would have to maybe back her off a little bit. Couldn't take her off the field. 80 minutes every single game, full physicality, which is something that's very difficult at AMSA. We're not necessarily a very physical team, and soccer is a physical sport. When we go up against some of these other teams that are played physical, we have problems. Not this person. She ended up leading the team in points, stepped up her game to a total another level. Like I said, once Angie went down, on field all the time, demanding the ball, always a voice in the huddle, whether she was the captain or not, and an outspoken team leader. Our MVP goes to Neha. We did find out as well that we have 2 All-Stars for Central Mass, so both Neha and Angie made All-Stars this season. That's it, right? Is that all I wanted to do? Oh, the certificates. There we go. So we're going to hand out these certificates. Senior Captain, Ava Collins. Senior, Neha Kaufman. Senior, Sophia Hammond. Senior, Celeste Meredith. Senior Captain, Riley Whittier. Bella Duke here. Junior, Maddie Goulding. Sophomore, Sophia Cruz. Sophomore, Angelina De Silva. Sophomore, Caroline Hager. Sophomore, Brooke Ladon. Sophomore, Charlotte McCarthy. Sophomore, Avery Rogers. Sophomore, Riley Stoddard. Freshman, Isabella Kyriakos. Freshman, Matt Ladati. Freshman, Zoe Seymour. Freshman, Scarlett Baraka. Freshman, Ellie Zickus. Eighth grade, Gabby Kyriakos. Eighth grade, Stephanie Meredith. And seventh grader, Miliana Militova. Pictures? Pictures. Oh, in our... Is Carrie here? Yeah. Oh, this year, sorry. This year I got to have a manager. So not having Sarah around was tough, but having Carrie here was very nice. She took all our stats during games. Was that big, see that big smile right there? That was every single time we saw Carrie. So senior, Carrie Cooper. Now pictures.
Don't tell my mom behind me.
The last student athlete called tonight, and the certificate was spelled wrong. So my apologies to Carrie. I will correct that first thing in the morning. Just two other groups I wanted to mention. They're not here tonight. They're smaller groups, and they are co-op athletes at other schools, similar to what I described about Maynard. We're in our third season with the Hudson Dance Program. We have 6 participants dancing over at Hudson High. Juniors Lydia Azar, Neva Bush. Sophomores Carly Lowe and Olivia Esteves, and freshmen Emily Casella and Danica Clark. Pretty cool opportunity for the Hudson dance team because the Hudson football team is having such a successful season. they're probably going to go to Gillette Stadium to play for a Super Bowl. Our Hudson Dance Girls will be there at Gillette Stadium and hopefully get a chance to perform on the turf at Gillette at a Super Bowl. So pretty cool, and I just wanted to mention those 6 student athletes. So a round of applause for our Hudson Dancers. And also, we just wrapped up our 2nd season as part of the Marlboro High School field hockey program. They had a very successful fall. I'm pretty certain it was one of the most successful falls in recent memory for that field hockey program. They won 4 of their last 5 games this season, including an MIA playoff win at home over Auburn, a team that had beaten them early in the season. They finished 9-6-3 and advanced to the MIAA Division III round of 16. They lost last week out in Newburyport. It was a great season for them, and our AMSA Marlboro Co-op student athletes that participated had a great experience. So we had 4 students that played field hockey for Marlboro. Senior Kira Manning, junior Emma O'Malley, sophomore Ava McLeod, and Ellie Tremontosi. So congratulations to those 4 student athletes. All right. Sorry about the audio. I'm very sorry about that. Time for our academic awards. Per usual, we're going to recognize the outstanding, maybe I'm just too loud. We're going to recognize the outstanding academic achievements of our student athletes and give out some awards to both upperclassmen and underclassmen, as well as some team awards. The 4 individuals, the awards are for the highest average for the first quarter, and we'll do male and female awards. For underclassmen, the male winner is from the boys varsity soccer team with an average of 99.22, freshman Conrad Richter. Come on up, Conrad. And the female winner of the underclassmen highest average award is from the girls varsity soccer team with an average of 96.75, sophomore Avery Rogers. Come on up, Avery. All right, to the upperclassmen. The male upperclassman winner from the varsity golf team is a senior captain with an average of 98, Noah Hill. Come on up. And finally, for the upperclassmen, the female winner is from our varsity volleyball team with an average of 99.44, senior Molly Howry. Are the team awards. The second team is the team with the highest overall, regardless of gender. So that second team I'm going to call, please come up. But the male team with the highest average, and it was an average of just under 91, was our varsity golf team. So golf. You're not coming up. Golf's not coming up.
Take your seats, boys. The runners up.
female team with the highest average, I'm going to ask this team to please join me up here. Dr. Mobley, last year, her first year here at AMSA, she purchased an Eagle Trophy that we're going to give out to the team with the highest average each season. So this season, it's a female team. The team average is an average of 94.04, and it's our girls varsity cross country team. Just a few quick announcements before we call it a night. Again, if you're a first-time varsity athlete, you're going to come see me after and get your varsity letter. Winter sports start the Monday after Thanksgiving, so please register ASAP. And again, I thank you very much for coming tonight, and I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Thanks, everybody.